ranking the top 20 kill streaks in COD history. The Call of Duty community is very vocal with their opinions when content creators rank anything, so I thought why not have the community do the ranking instead. So with that in mind, I made a Call of Duty Killstreak tournament where first I had the community vote for the best kill streaks from every COD individually to rank them for seeding. After that, I made over 50 polls where each one had 2 kill streaks face off directly with each other to have a winner. And these Call of Duty polls ended up having over 1 million votes. This means the sample size is large enough to make this video fairly accurate to the overall community's feelings about kill streaks. And with all the results compiled together, this is the community's ranking of the top 20 kill streaks in COD history. 20. The care package from almost every Call of Duty. A classic that may have given the Call of Duty community a gambling addiction. It's always a cheaper streak, usually being 4 or 5 kills that could give any kill streak in the game. And what made people like it so much was even if you weren't great at Call of Duty yet, you had the opportunity to get the higher end kill streaks. But the care package became even better when Black Ops 1 introduced re-rolling them with a perk, Hardline Pro. If you didn't like your first random kill streak, you had an opportunity to make it worse or better. Some more gambling. The care package reminds me of my biggest rage moment in my Call of Duty career. I was playing Black Ops 1 the first month it released with a full party of friends, and I wasn't really great at the game yet. I was only alright, and I was getting my care package on radiation, and it just happened to be attack dogs, but as I was grabbing it, I got killed and spawned on the opposite side of the map. And as I began my journey to get back to my care package, I told my friends to guard it and not take it. And as I'm mere seconds away from getting there, the care package disappears off the map and friendly dogs are inbound. I completely lost it and was asking who stole my dogs, and no one was answering. But Black Ops 1 had this little thing called theater mode, and I decided to bring my whole party over there to watch the playback and find out who stole them. But right as the care package drops onto the map, the playback in the theater mode just stops. And then I look and it shows the game's over, meaning I never got to see who stole my dogs. It was a very sad day for my bot self. But a while after the incident, all my friends started telling me who it was. So a long-awaited message to my friend. You, Gary. That felt good. 19. The Wraith from Black Ops 3. It costs 1100 score to get, and is essentially a better and more powerful attack helicopter. And that 1100 score is pretty easy to get playing objective game modes like Kill Confirmed or Domination. The Wraith will lock on and attack enemies until it sees no more targets to engage, then it's going to change position automatically, and that makes it so much better at securing you a handful of kills each time you call it in. It also has this cloaking ability that made it so rocket launchers couldn't lock onto it. It also makes it more difficult to spot, but this ability is disabled while being hit by gunfire, and it takes 3 rockets to destroy. So if an enemy is focused on destroying the Wraith, they can do it in about 20 seconds, which limits it to only getting a couple kills. But its defenses make it work well most of the time. This video has been in the works for a few months and couldn't have been completed without you guys voting on the polls and letting your opinions be heard. And if you enjoy these community ranking tournaments, please leave a like if you'd like to see more of them. 18. System hack from Advanced Warfare. I without a doubt think this should have finished much higher. The system hack was the score streak to use if you wanted to get a DNA bomb or simply just do really well. It was also incredibly annoying to go up against, but incredible to use. For the first month of Advanced Warfare, there was a huge X and skull in the middle of your screen the entire duration of it, making sure you couldn't see anything going on. It was so bad, but luckily this did get fixed, and if you remember that streaks could be upgraded in Advanced Warfare, you'll remember you had the ability to add features like disabling exosuits with it and extending its duration. So, in the first ever Advanced Movement Call of Duty, the developers allowed a streak to take that away from an entire team that had maps that were exclusively designed to only work with advanced movement. And it didn't end there. You had no minimap like it was the beginning of MW 2019, no reticles, and you couldn't see how much ammo you had. It was simply a more detrimental version of the EMP. 17. Helicopter from COD 4. I honestly thought this would finish in the top 10. It was a very cheap streak at 7 kills, allowing any player to be able to earn it while still being great on many maps. It also could help you earn another helicopter if you called it in after you died. It would routinely get you 5 kills and even sometimes 10, which is a great bang for your buck. What made it so good was that COD 4 had no lock-on launchers, making it really difficult to shoot down. No other airstreaks in Call of Duty history have that benefit, so it was powerful difficult to get rid of, and could earn you another helicopter, while also being iconic as the first top streak in Call of Duty. If you enjoy the videos and want to be a part of the next community tournaments, hit that button, it's free, I appreciate all of you. And please comment what Call of Duty community tournament you'd like to see next. 16. Reaper from Modern Warfare 3. I ran this point streak all the time, and I'd say it's my favorite assault streak in MW3. You gotta launch Predator missiles out of the Reaper with red boxes around the enemies. But instead of a 5-point streak for one Predator missile, you could get the Reaper a 9-point streak for 14 Predator missiles. Don't worry, it gets even better. The Reaper's missiles were even easier to hit because the missiles were guided from an onboard camera, kind of like an AC-130, but you gotta control it all the way to the ground. Getting 10 kills from the Reaper was a very common occurrence. It was also great for destroying enemy airstreaks like attack helicopters because it orbited the map at a much higher height. But it did have some limitations, with the speed of the missiles hitting the ground being slower than a Predator missile and making it difficult to shoot all 14 of the missiles before the time expired. However, I personally would have ranked this one a little higher. 15. UAV from every Call of Duty. I couldn't have this kill streak represent a single Call of Duty, because this is the quintessential streak that every Call of Duty player starts off using to help begin their journey to earn higher and higher kill streaks. It has always been a 3 kill streak or 350 to 500 score in later games, making it very easy to earn. The UAV is simple. It scans the field of play every few seconds to show dots on your minimap, revealing where enemies are, allowing you to engage in combat with the upper hand. It usually lasts about 30 seconds in games, but has slight variation from Call of Duty to Call of Duty. The last thing I'll say is that the UAV helped the whole team out and not just the individual player using it, which is what I believe put it onto this list. 14. Stealth Bomber from Modern Warfare 3, the no-skill multi-kill, a point streak that will never be forgotten and is the easiest to earn streak on this list. It was a 14-point streak, which sounds difficult if you never played Modern Warfare 3 before and never heard of the support package. So what was this support package? It was supposed to be filled with point streaks that supported the team, like ballistic vests and EMPs, where you didn't have to get consecutive kills to earn it. You just had to get enough kills in the game to earn them. So if you were 14 and 14, you'd have just earned your Stealth Bomber, a very lethal point streak that would wipe out the entire enemy team half the time for doing no work at all. I understand why it made it onto this list, because it was powerful and did its job while taking nothing to earn. The Stealth Bomber is probably what killed the support package killstreak idea from ever returning. 13. Gunship from Black Ops 1. This thing was an incredible kill streak you earned with 11 straight kills. It got overshadowed in BO1 by the other great kill streaks, but every single time Jungle came into the queue, you know that I, you, and everybody else equipped the gunship. It was gonna get you 20 kills every single time you called it in. The amount of 100+ kill games I had on Jungle was insane, which isn't something you normally hear happening on a larger map like Jungle, and is safe for the maps like Nuketown. The gunship is essentially a chopper gunner that you get to drive around and control yourself, letting you fly to whichever area the enemies are spawning in. It was easy to rain down hell. It also had a couple missiles you could shoot from it, but the minigun and movement were the keys to its dominance. It lasted 45 seconds to give you enough time to make it worth the 11 kill streak. Its only downside was the ability for it to be shot down. If that happened quickly, that's a huge letdown. Maybe that's why it didn't quite make the top 10. 12. Sniper's Nest from Black Ops 4. This should have easily been higher on the list because it was extremely overpowered. You couldn't shoot it down because you'd be quick-scoped to the dome before you could lock on. Those snipers were a menace with their aimbot. Every AI-controlled helicopter streak in Call of Duty History obviously automatically aimed onto enemies, but those all took multiple bullets to kill you. The Sniper's Nest gave you 0 seconds to react because it was an automatic one-shot kill, giving you 0 chance of escaping. And in a game like Black Ops 4, where the health was increased to 150, making the time to kill much longer, the Sniper's Nest felt like a rude awakening, which is why I always used it, even if I switched up the other 2 score streaks I had on. Oh, I almost forgot to mention that this streak stayed in the air for over a minute, which is longer than most streaks last. An impressive feat by this soldier. 11. Pavlo from Modern Warfare 3. It's a great point streak that first came around in MW2, but it doesn't last quite as long as the Sniper's Nest, with only 60 seconds in the air, while taking up about 5 of those seconds arriving. What makes it good is that it essentially is 2 attack helicopters. The Pavlo shot from mounted guns on both sides of it, whereas an attack helicopter would only shoot from one side. Using the Pavlo in tandem with the Reaper from the earlier part of this video makes sense because you don't want to have to manually control multiple kill streaks in your rotation. But the main drawback to the Pavlo is that it only took a couple rockets to destroy it, which is pretty easy to do. But back before strict skill-based matchmaking, in 1,000 tips and trick videos, this wasn't consistently done, which allowed it to work well, but I'd still rank the Sniper's Nest over it. 10. Chopper Gunner from Black Ops 1. This is the best chopper gunner in Call of Duty history, and it isn't even close in my opinion. First off, it was the easiest one to earn, as only a 9 kill streak when they're usually at least 11. Then it's also more powerful than the rest of them, while also being the easiest one to use. And I think my favorite part about the Black Ops 1 chopper is that it flies in a circle around the outside of the map, which is far better than hovering around sections of the map for a few seconds at a time. It helps to avoid those awkward angles and inability to get enemies from having a bad positioning. The Black Ops 1 chopper also gave the benefit of stunning any enemy it hit, making them barely be able to move, almost guaranteeing your kill. It definitely deserves its top 10 spot. 9. Attack Dogs from Black Ops 1. This is my favorite kill streak of all time, probably why I got so upset when Gary stole my care package of attack dogs. Yes, I'm still not over that. I think the question is, who didn't love them? Answer, the other team. They didn't have the upside of the gunship, but they had a higher floor because they worked on all maps. They also couldn't be shot down, and you didn't have to manually control them, they just went to work. When you called them in, 4 dogs would immediately jump onto the map and begin taking out enemies. And when those dogs got killed, 4 reserve dogs would jump onto the map. So the kill streak gave you a total of 8 attack dogs. The side benefit of attack dogs was fully distracting the enemies, making them easier to kill yourself. And the attack dogs always found the loudest enemies first because they were drawn to gunfire, making them run towards whichever enemies were creating problems. They were incredible to pair with the chopper gunner. 8. Lodestar from Black Ops 2. This thing was absolutely incredible. Take the Modern Warfare 3 Reaper and upgrade it to create the Lodestar, but instead of a 9-point streak, it costs 1500 score, making it a little bit more difficult to earn if you didn't play objectives like you were a bum. The missiles could be fired way faster because the missiles themselves reach the ground much faster than they did for the Reaper. It also circled the map from a very high point, pretty much the opposite of the Pavlo. You could also shoot as many missiles as you wanted. It all depended on where you shot the missiles. If you hit targets closer to your Lodestar, they reach the ground faster, allowing you more time to get another strike. If you aimed your missiles at players on the opposite side of the map, they reach the ground slower, limiting the effectiveness of your streak. In the correct player's hands, you could easily get over 10 kills every Lodestar. 7. Harrier Strike from Modern Warfare 2. A classic kill streak that will never be forgotten. Start off with a precision airstrike into being an attack helicopter essentially, all for only a 7 kill streak. Maybe that's why it got voted as the 7th best. It was very cost effective for how good it was, but that's not the only reason people voted for it, at least from my opinion in reading the comments of the polls. The Harrier Strike was the first step towards earning a nuke because it could almost guarantee earning your 11 kill streak, which then meant you could get your 25 kill streak. The first stepping stone is not to be forgotten or messed with. You may be asking why they aren't to be messed with, and it's because they had a side ability where they could destroy attack helicopters, Pavlos, and chopper gunners quickly. However, the Harrier couldn't mess with the other 11 kill streak in Modern Warfare 2. It had great offense and defense. 6. Raps from Black Ops 3. Is anyone shocked this made the list? No. Is anyone shocked they finished above the attack dogs? Probably. They were better in some ways and worse in others. But what they did super effectively was strike fear into the opposing team. Made a lot of people rage quit. One of the positives of them was that they only took 1300 score to earn, which is pretty easy in objective game modes, especially kill confirmed. But one of the negatives for them is being deployed from VTOL drones, which could be destroyed before dropping off the Raps, which in turn would destroy them before ever making it onto the map. The good news is that there were 2 ships dropping them off that took 4 rockets to destroy, making it impossible to destroy both of them. Another benefit over the attack dogs is that if an enemy shoots and destroys a spiked ball of death, it doesn't just die, it explodes, meaning it can still earn you a kill as it gets destroyed. Overall, a really good and really fun score streak to earn that did all the work for you. 5. Blackbird from Black Ops 1. It's good in every iteration, but the original variant gets the spot. And for those that don't know, it's the VSAT, Hater, and Harp, but it was originally the Blackbird, aka the SR-71. It gave an advanced radar that gives you real-time updates of enemies' exact positions as arrows showing you which direction they're looking for 45 seconds. It could not be shot down, and you could not avoid it by using a perk. The Blackbird always knew where the enemy was, with the only defense being a counter spy plane. It took an 8 kill streak to earn, and guaranteed you getting a chopper gunner and attack dogs after. And it didn't just benefit you, but the whole team, because it popped up on your whole team's radar. They even made a great DLC map called Hangar 18, where the center of the map played around a SR-71. It was such a cool map that played great, and I think the Blackbird had a really good case to be the #1 killstreak in COD history, but it will just have to settle for being in the top 5. 4. Specialist from Modern Warfare 3. Nothing felt as good as earning your specialist bonus to get every single pro perk in the game that made you feel untouchable. You instantly got a speed boost to your character, and your game felt so smooth. I almost feel like they just upped your connection in the lobby too. It's hard to explain it if you didn't play Modern Warfare 3, but every other iteration of Specialist never felt quite as good. That might be because it's the only Specialist package to have pro perks, making each individual perk do more and be better. It's also insane that it only took an 8-point streak to get every pro perk. It was so good that I decided to use Hardline as my first earned perk so I could get there in 7. It was what everyone used to earn Moabs, the nuke of Modern Warfare 3, and I got so many of them because of how much easier Specialists made it. I mean, come on, it made it only a 24 kill streak instead of 25. No more dying one off. Or would I just die at a 23 kill streak? We're gonna ignore that and move on. 3. AC-130 from Modern Warfare 2. The community showed they liked clapping cheeks with this one, and I can't disagree, because I always enjoyed clapping more than chopping. It was more versatile than the chopper because it had 3 weapons of different shapes and sizes. Alright, I seriously need to stop joking around with how I described the AC-130. To put it simply, you had the big bomb you could shoot once every few seconds, then the smaller bomb you could shoot a few times every few seconds, and then finally, the little gunner that could shoot a number of bullets every few seconds. They were all better at different things. People in open space, shoot the big bomb. People hiding in a window, shoot the bullets, and the people about to make it into cover, shoot the smaller bombs. This was used for fun, but more importantly used to earn your next kill streak. 2. Swarm from Black Ops 2. You know how I said the rap struck fear into the enemy team? Well, the Swarm instilled terror for the enemies. It essentially was getting you 20 kills or giving you a free win because the entirety of the opposing team backed out. And the Swarm consisted of 1,000,000 hunter-killer drones, which were a cheap streak you would throw up into the air and it would fly around until it locked onto an enemy, or an air score streak like the UAV, either killing an enemy or destroying an enemy streak. They didn't miss, which is why having 20-30 of them flying around was terrifying, and there was no easy way to destroy them outside of having an EMP. They truly were your worst nightmare, which is why they cost so much to get at 1900 score, which is why I felt it was kind of lame to earn just for everyone to back out, but a win is a win. Quickly before revealing the #1 kill streak, here are the 30th to 21st kill streaks according to the community. 30. Air Patrol from Cold War. This thing was so annoying with how cheap it was, and the whole game being support streaks, but can't deny it was really good. 29. Counter UAV from every COD. An underrated kill streak that isn't used enough. 28. Paratroopers from COD World War II. Very good, but a less cool version of attack dogs. 27. Napalm Strike from Black Ops 1. Basically a better version of a precision airstrike. 26. Dreadnought from Black Ops 6. This thing is crazy good, but rare to see with dog-do strict skill-based matchmaking. EMP from Modern Warfare 3. As a support streak, it was free to get and effective at helping the team. 24. Maniac from Ghosts. This was so much fun to use, being a fast juggernaut knifing people. Also, the Michael Myers version was sick. 23. Warthog from Black Ops 2. Love this score streak even though it sounded like a fart. 22. Dogs from World at War. Legendary kill streak but not quite as good as their BO1 version. 21. Guard Dog from Ghosts. Only 5 kills and you got your own Riley having your back. Everyone probably saw this coming. 1. Tactical Nuke from Modern Warfare 2. The biggest dopamine hit I have ever had playing Call of Duty was getting my first nuke. I still remember it to this day. I got it on Quarry, playing with that little Gary who stole my attack dogs and my care package. Yes, I am still not over it. I was straight up jumping up and down in my chair with pure adrenaline after being incredibly stressed out because after exiting my AC-130, I was 2 kills off of earning it. And I feel like Quarry is a weird map to get your first nuke on, so let me know which map you got your nuke or Moab or whatever first nuke-like streak you got. And we all know why the nuke is different from the rest. It eliminated the whole other team, of course, but it also ended the game and made your team win no matter what the score was. It wasn't going to earn you a bunch of kills like other kill streaks, but what it was going to earn you was a win and the ability to dunk on the other team in the lobby, and nothing will outdo that. And are there any kill streaks you think the community should have put on the list, or do you think the list is perfect? And if you want to see the top 10 most hated kill streaks in Call of Duty history, click here. You won't be disappointed. I'll catch you next time. Peace.